When I was in film school, one of the other students there was this filmmaker named Alexander Payne, who, is a really great director, actually. I think his films are great. Even at the time, his films were great. And after film school, there was this big article about him in the LA Times that basically said, this guy's the most talented filmmaker to come out of any film school ever. And every single studio is interested in trying to get him to work for them. And he got this like big development deal, and he was given an office for a year, and he could like watch any movies he wanted. They just gave them to him, and he was just supposed to write a script, which he did. And it was Citizen Ruth. And because we were friends, and because he had seen me acting in A Little Stiff, my film, he hired me to play a small part in Citizen Ruth. And I play the part of like the gay friend of the lesbian couple. And I just have a few lines. It's not a big role. But we're shooting the scene, and he says, I want you to say it like this. And he shows me how to say it. And he says, say this line, and then bend down like this and say this line, and then turn like this and say this line. And I was like, Alexander, you did that perfectly. You know how to say those lines, and you wrote them, and that's great. You did a fantastic job. I cannot say those lines. I would never say those lines. I need to say it the way I would say it. Can I do it my way, please? And he said, yes, but first do it my way, and then we'll do it your way. And I was like, okay, but I just know I can't do that. He says, just try it. Just try it. And I was like, okay, fine. So I say the line. I bend over the way he told me to bend over. I say this other line. I turn around the way he told me to turn around. I say the next line. And it's terrible. I mean, just terrible. And I'm just the whole time thinking, I can't believe how bad this is. Of course, he will see right away that we should redo it and let me do it my way. And as soon as I'm done, he says, great, perfect, that's a wrap. And everyone starts like taking the equipment down. And I'm like, Alexander, you said we could do it my way. And he said, no, it's perfect. We don't need to. And I said, Alexander, it was terrible. And he's like, no, it wasn't. It was exactly what I wanted. And I'm like, Alexander, it was so bad. It was like the worst performance I've ever done in my life. And he said, I love it. I love it. We're done. And I was disconsolate. I was so upset. I was like, why did I let him do that? He tricked me. I should have just done it my way. And this other actor who was there came up to me. He saw how upset I was. And he said, listen, all actors know this. Always do it your way first. And they'll see in the edit that your way is the best. But they're such egotists that they have to think that theirs is the best, and they don't even want to hear what you have to say, but they'll recognize it in the editing room, and the editor will recognize it and tell them. So next time someone tells you to do it their way, don't. Do it your way first. And then they'll say, that's not what I wanted. And you'll say, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let me do it your way. And I was like, oh yeah, he's right. That's what I'll do next time. But there was no next time. That was my last performance in a Hollywood film. And if you watch this in Ruth, I think you'll agree with me that my performance in it is terrible and mars an otherwise quite excellent film.